We're here at Monza. It's the start of a whole new season for the Blancpain Endurance Series. We've got 60 cars this weekend. The Pro Cup is going to be more competitive than ever. In Pro-Am, we've got another huge entry. And this year, the Gentleman Trophy has got its biggest ever entry, and we're going to have some great battles there as well. In the Pro Cup, the reigning champion, Stephane Ortelli, stays with the WRT Audi team, but he's got new co-drivers for this year. We've got new teams coming in. We've got some different driver combinations. It's going to be a fantastic season for sure. And I'm very excited that joining me in the booth is John Watson. John, we've got 3 hour races to look forward to, which is about the length of one of your sentences, isn't it?
Well, you told me, David, that this is an endurance race series. And what I've seen so far is it's a 3-hour sprint race series. The competition, the quality of cars, the quality of drivers, coming here to Monza, one of my all-time favourite venues, and the sun is shining. It's going to be fantastic.
And there are drivers that we both come across in different categories, in touring cars, in single-seaters, in sports cars. Some are on the way up, some are in the twilight of their careers, but they all come onto this one stage, and the net result is fantastic racing. And
also, the dreaded BOP, the balance of performance, has been further tuned up. And from what we've seen so far from practice and qualifying, 14 cars covered by just under a second this morning. That's very close.
And when we look at the entry, and you asked me this question this morning, who's going to win? The short list of possible winners runs to about half a page. I mean, it's wide open. There are so many good teams, good cars, good drivers. It's very hard to predict a winner.
Well, I think as we talked about this morning, winning is about getting to the end of the race without having to make that last-minute pit stop for the little bit of extra fuel. If you push very hard in the opening first 2 hours, you may use maybe too much fuel, and that will then result in that unnecessary final pit stop. So it's going to be, to some degree, although I said it's a sprint 3-hour series, there will be a tortoise amongst those top cars that will just manage to eke out a little bit more MPG, and hopefully that'll be the car that will take the checkered flag.
And of course, in a category like this, it's not just the guys in the car. You've got all the engineers and the strategists who have to understand the race, and they've got to monitor the fuel, they've got to make sure they bring the car in for the 2 mandatory pit stops at the right time, because these races can be won or lost right here in the pit lane.
Well, I spoke to some of the drivers this morning and said, well, where do you put yourself? Where is your car-driver combination? And some are saying, well, maybe this isn't our best circuit, but we are the best in the pit lane, and races will be won and lost in the pit lane. And if you can get in and out quickly, do your driver changes cleanly, make sure you don't fall foul of the regulations, don't undo your seat belts too early, turn the ignition off when you come into the pits, do all the things you're required to do. Metronomic pit stops will ultimately win the event here on Sunday.
There's so much to look forward to across the race, but also within the Pro-Am class. Now, I'm joined by Alain Delamura, who is the Vice President of Blancpain. We're standing in front of one of the best cars in the entry, this symphonic-sounding Lamborghini, driven by Marc Hayek from Blancpain, and he's got a real chance of winning the class, not just in the races with Peter Cox, but winning the class in the championship as well, Alain.
Yeah, that's it, and this shows the engagement of the brand in this kind of project. We are very proud of these 60 cars, as you said, for Blancpain, and we strongly believe that the reason of this success is also the fact that this series is back to the real rules and the real roots of the traditional GT gentleman spirit. And this is like Blancpain is in the watchmaking world. We are the oldest watch brand in the world, and we keep the strong respect of this heritage, and this is probably the reason of the success of this Blancpain Endurance Series.
When you first spoke to Stephane Ortelli about this series, did you ever think you'd be standing in a pit lane as busy as this? Did you think 60 cars was going to be an entry, or was it much less than that in your mind?
Well, we were convinced that the idea was good, because he phoned me and he said, I'd like to launch a new series, and really, as I said, it's respecting the roots, and we believe in that. But 60 cars, definitely we could not imagine that only after 2.5 years we have 60 cars. The success is tremendous, and it's also because of you.
And overnight, it has become synonymous, this category, with just the name, Blancpain. I know its full title is the Blancpain Endurance Series, but you speak to people about GT racing and they say, yep, I'm racing this year in Blancpain. Just that one word.
Yes, that's true. It was our good idea, let's say, that when Stephane said, I will make a new series, I said, okay, but then we call it Blancpain Series, Blancpain Endurance Series, and this was to be a title name in the series. This is the reason of this good celebrity for the brand too.
We're looking forward to a great season. John, it all kicks off here at Monza tomorrow with the first race. Thoughts, prospects, what do you reckon?
Well, in fact, 2 of my countrymen are racing, Stephen Kane and Adam Carroll, and both on very competitive cars. So I suppose there's a little bit of me will be supporting those two drivers in their individual task tomorrow, but it's so open, and I could not tell you right now which is the most competitive car, let alone which team will be the team that takes the checkered flag. It's so close.
Which is a very good reason, therefore, to make sure you join us either on television, online at Blancpain-endurance-series.net, or of course you can follow the live timing from the Blancpain website as well, because with 60 cars there's going to be an awful lot to look forward to in this first of 5 races in the 2013 Blancpain Endurance Series.